Hi everyone, I want to go over an Excel formula or a way that you can actually show some great breakdown for interest rates and the loan amounts. Now this is great if you're actually working with a client, or if you wanted to, if you're a buyer and you're looking at this video. Maybe you want to know the payment differences, how much payment would differ based on different interest rates. For example, if you found out that if you fixed your credit, you could get up to a half, maybe a full percent deduction in your interest rate. I'm just kind of making up numbers here, but you can look at this and understand the impact that it might have on your monthly payment. So let's get started. I already have a sheet here which I'm going to copy. Alright, and we'll just go over it. I'm just going to make it a little bit simple here. And let me make it a little big so you guys can see it. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a loan amount, and this could be any loan amount. You know, you can come in here and put 500,000, 5 million, whatever it is. We're going to put the interest rate, so you can do 4%, 30 years. And then we're going to use the payment formula. Now this is something that's built in Excel. If you don't know what it is, you can start with putting an equal sign and then type in PMT, and you're going to see that Excel is actually going to show the different formulas. So it's the first one that you want to click on. Alright, and then it's going to show you all the different variables that it's looking for. So let me just walk you through that. So the payment, so we have equals payment. Then we're going to take B2, which is the interest rate, and divide it by 12, because this interest rate is per year. So we want to divide that per month. Alright, because the payments we're calculating is per month. So we're going to take this interest rate, divide by 12. That's the first parameter. Then we put a comma. Now the next thing is determine years. Now this is in years, so we need to multiply that by 12 because we have 12 months. So just think everything is monthly here. So we want to bring all these to the monthly. So we can actually put that information here if we wanted to, but it's just as easy here. And then the last one is the amount. Alright, and then you get your calculation. So you can come in here and actually keep changing this. So what we want to do is we want to put maybe an increment for loan amount. Okay, I'm just going to make it very formula based so that you'll be able to see how you can actually change this for your needs. And then I want to do an increment for interest rate. Okay, so those are the two things that we're really looking for understanding, because that's what's going to impact. So increment for a loan amount, maybe you want to do it by 25,000 at a time, or maybe it is 50,000 at a time. Alright, so I'm just going to put 50 here. Let me just make these bigger again so that you guys can see. Okay, and then for the interest rate, maybe you want to do 0.25%. Alright, maybe you want to do something different, but in any case, I'm just going to start with that. So let me just make sure I have 16 here so that you guys can see. So the way that this works is you're going to come up with basically a loan amount. So let's say that you want to start with 100,000, just so you understand it. Actually, I'm going to do $. Alright, and then I'm going to use the formula here to increment this by 50,000, or whatever the increment value is here. So the way that we do that is you go to the next line, and you're going to do a plus the row before plus the incremental value. Now since the incremental value is something that we don't want it to change, I'm just going to put the $signs to make it constant. Okay, that gives us a nice formula. Then you can bring this down however long you want it. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it down to there for now. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to do the interest rate. Okay, so we're going to, maybe you want to start with 3%. Maybe you're looking to, you know, buy a home from somebody who had 3% a few years back. So again, we're going to do the same thing. It's 3%. We're going to add plus this, but this is going to be a constant, so I'm going to put the dollar signs around it. All right, and you know, you can make this go as far as you want. So 7%. Okay, so we got 1,000,000 and 7%. And I'm going to refer, we have to put the formula. So I'm going to put the formula here as a reference because of what we're going to use. Now what we do is we kind of highlight this. And of course, you can come here and put the different loan amount, different interest rate, and then see this change automatically because we have the formula here. But this kind of gives it a nice table that you can look at. So you highlight the whole thing, then you go to data, and there's a what if analysis option. So you're going to click on that and go down to data set, table. So now what it's asking is what information is going to change? What information are we inputting for the row formula, and what are we putting for the column formula? So for the row, what is changing, if you look at it, what is changing on this is the interest rates. So we're going to click on the interest rates. For the column, what is changing is the loan amounts. So for the column, we're going to say it's the row amounts. So click on that. Now, of course, you're going to see all of these numbers, and it's all negative because these are all payments. So what we want to do is we're going to format these cells, currency, and if you wanted to have 2 decimal points, etc., you can do that. I'm just going to do red for all of that, and you know, you can space them out a little bit better, etc. So let's just validate that. So what we had here was 500,000. So we're at 500,000 at 4%, which is right here, and it's 237 right here. So here you can quickly look at things, and actually I can come in here and multiply this whole thing by -1, all right, so that it's not all negative. So there's some really cool things that you can do with Excel, obviously. So I don't need to format these all the way out, but you'll get an idea of however you want to format it. And the nice thing is, for example, if you've taken some of our my other budgeting course or videos, if you've seen that, you can come in here and say, okay, my budget is you know, $2,500. So I can come in here and do conditional formatting, and I want to highlight all of them that's less than 2,500, all right, or 5,000. So right now I have 3,500 there. So if you say the max I can offer is 2,500, boom, right? So now you have it highlighted. You can look at what you can qualify for at what percent. Now, always keep in mind that we didn't even put anything else on here. So this is P&I only, which is principal and interest only. So on top of this, what you need to think about is your property taxes, probably your hazard insurance, of course your HOA if you have it, or condo fees. So you got to make sure that you put all of that in here. Now on this formula, if you had it, we could go ahead and put them on here. So if you wanted to, for example, after you do the payment, you wanted to come back here and add a constant of $500 for a monthly condo fee. I'm just kind of making this up right now. All right, so I'm just going to put a bracket over everything. All right, so this would be your payment. See how it added 500? So now you can quickly look at your budget and say, oh, okay, if I don't want to go over 2,500, these are my options, right? So you can see what it is. Of course, I didn't add the property taxes, etc., so that's going to change. But it gives you a good idea of how you can manipulate this or use it, or even use it with your clients. Oops, I have to take that plus off. All right. So you can use this with your clients, or obviously if you're a buyer or a seller and a buyer, you can look at this. Sometimes people have very specific budget and they'll say, I can't go over $2,500, but I really want to buy this $500,000 home, but I only qualify for 4%, let's say. So this is where you can actually maybe use some of the funds or closing cost help to actually buy points. So I'm not going to go too much into it, but there's a great way to really use this kind of Excel spreadsheet to help you. So if you wanted to get rid of this highlighting, you can highlight this whole thing and just kind of conditional and clear rules, okay, so that you can go back to it. But I kind of like the fact that you can highlight everything here and just go in here quickly and say anything less than 2,500 I want to know about, highlight that. So again, if you wanted to go ahead and create a different formula, you just put the reference to the formula here or the formula here, and then the variables is what you change. So I hope this was beneficial. I hope it helps you when you're working with clients, especially first-time home buyers, for them to understand. I actually can use this with people who are spending money. For example, like us, we had a storage unit. I could come back here and say, my God, we're spending, storage fees. We could actually buy something for $100,000 at a 3% interest rate. Or if you're spending more, for example, you can take a look at this. Also, just think about this. If you have an HOA fee versus somebody that does not. So if you're paying condo fee or HOA fee of $500-600, you can kind of come in here and say, okay, if I'm spending $600, right, up to $600, so right here, I can actually increase the price of a property that doesn't have an HOA or condo fee $100,000 based on obviously the interest rate. So if it was, let's say you have 5% and you have a $600 monthly fee for something, HOA, condo, whatever it is. If you didn't have that, you could afford something that was $100,000 more. So hopefully that was beneficial. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. In the meantime, have an awesome day and make it a blessed day. We'll talk with you soon. Thanks. Bye.